Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Maasrot Perek Gimal Mishnah Gimal. This Mishnah is very much a continuation of the last Mishnah, continuing on the theme of if a person hires a worker, right, and makes a condition with him that he's going to give him, extra food to eat, right? And it's not talking about that he's working, a certain produce. Of course, then he's allowed to eat from that produce. If he's picking olives off the tree, he's allowed to eat those olives off the tree, right? But we're talking about something else. Let's say he's plowing the field, right? Where our Mishnah will even discuss that he's, hoeing around the olive tree, right? So he's working the ground, the dirt, maybe weeding out things around the tree, right? So not actually picking olives off the tree, but again, avodat ilan. So again, in that case, that the employer is not obligated to give his employee, food to eat. That's not what the Torah granted him, right? So if you made a condition over here and says, I want to be able to eat from, while I'm working, that's already considered a barter, a trade, business transaction, right? And we know that mekach, a business transaction, is kovea for maaser, and at that point everything's obligated in maaser. So our Mishnah is going to walk us through this example. If someone hires a worker in order to work with olives, again, so we explained, and Harabam points this out, and he's very specific, that we're talking about working with olives, not that he's picking olives off the tree, because the Torah grants him, right, that he's allowed to eat from the tree. Rather, we're talking about he's working avudata ilan, right? So similar to the next case was the nakish babet salim. So this is the Yerushalmi explains the nakish tahat hazetim. He's actually he's hoeing around the trees, picking out the weeds from around the tree. Amarlo. Now the employee says, tells his employer, I'm going to do so and condition that you let me eat from the olives. Now he's not, the employer is not obligated to let him eat from the olives. So over here, this is a trade, this is a business transaction. Therefore, he eats one at a time. He can pick one olive off the tree and eat it, and he's patur from giving maasrot. But if he lumped them together, he combined them. Already that we saw earlier, he's already hayab to give ma'asor before he continues eating. Then akesh b'betzalim, the next case in the Mishnah, if he's hired in order to weed out the weeds around the onions. Amar lo aminat le'echol yarak, and the employee says, okay, I'll do so on condition that I can go ahead and eat some of the vegetables in the garden. Mekartem ale ale ve'ochel, right? Mekartem is similar to mekarsem. He's allowed to go ahead and literally cut a leaf at a time and eat. But if again he combines them together, we said earlier, he's going to be hayav to separate maasrot first.